welcome. As always, Philip Boughton here, holding it down. We've got Joe John back again.
Yes, sir.
Yup. And the ever-talented, ever-lovely Rose Murray. And now joining us for his initial broadcast.
His debut.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who do we have here?
What's your porn star name?
This is where you introduce yourself.
My porn star name? How did we,
Wasn't it Paulie County Road 41?
Oh, dirty.
Paul County Road 41.
20 miles on that one.
I'm noticing now, after you called yourself captain in the last episode, there is a Lake George fucking, why is this hat here? It's like a naval captain's hat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a captain's hat.
Welcome to episode 2.
Welcome to episode 2. Welcome, Paul, Joe, John, and Rose, and Phil. Welcome you, listener, to the fort. We're here to talk today about Saving Silverman, a classic movie from our childhood, our junior high days, Jack Black. It was really the introduction, I think, to Jack Black. And so that's what we're talking about mostly today. Jack Black, Steve Zahn, Jason Biggs, Amanda Peet, Arlie, is it Emery or Ermy?
Arlie, do you really pronounce it Ermy?
I thought it was Ermy, but it might be Emery.
E-R-M-E-Y.
Yeah, Ermy then.
Who the fuck knows?
Why?
Classic movie. Neil Diamond, big. This movie is very pivotal also in the resurgence of Neil Diamond, because think about it, without this movie, would you know who Neil Diamond was? Without this movie or without Will Ferrell, I don't think I would know a lot about Neil Diamond. So we're going to talk about all these things, and then we'll get into our hot topics of discussion. So, Paul, talk to me about this movie. You've seen it. As somebody, we've got it divided here. 2 people who've seen it and enjoyed it versus 2 people who haven't seen it / didn't enjoy it. Maybe let's start with Rose. Talk to me about it.
There is something so Philip Boughton about this movie.
I would agree.
Between like the Dane Cook rom-coms,
yes.
That is your actual, if you were a movie genre, that's what you would be. Yes. I feel like this, I don't know if this is like the textbook definition of like a buddy comedy or like whatever those are meant to be, but I feel like this is you as a person, and I feel like maybe it's because you've forced me to watch so many of these movies that I'm like, haha, wonder what'll happen next. Something fucking stupid, and then it does, and it's lost, the novelty's worn off for me. Maybe that's it, I don't know.
I could see that. These definitely are my favorite types of movies. The early 2000s rom-com, buddy, well, yeah, I think you nailed it there. But I think that adds to the spectacle of it.
You would think that.
I do. Joe John, what about you? What do you think, being a first observer of the movie?
I think it was a good movie. It was very 2001. Like, it was very contemporary for those types of movies at the time it came out. I liked it, but it was kind of boring.
Is that a nice way of saying it's shite? Like,
no,
it's a 2001 contemporary film.
No, I just mean it's very similar to every other movie at the time. In the same genre. I feel like they're all, you've seen one, you've seen all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. I just was on, it's like a movie to watch and be on your phone, for me.
Okay.
I see that.
Sure. Paul?
I mean, I love the movie. I've seen it about 1 billion times. Think that there's just plenty of just good, like, one-liners in it. Jack Black is the man. He's hilarious the whole time. I like that Kyle Gass made his appearance in there, so you get both members of Tenacious D. It's like a little Easter egg that's in there.
Yeah.
It's just a funny all-around movie.
Yeah, and especially growing up a couple houses down from each other, I can definitely say we watched this a good amount, and it was very impactful. The "On AYEAHHHAAA," that was said numerous times in the yard, at school, everywhere. And then, what does a mime even sound like when he's having sex? Mimes don't talk. There are so many just classic one-liners that are definitely used that you don't necessarily think about until you watch the movie, and you're like, oh, okay, that's what that's from. So I've definitely noticed that after rewatching it in the past, that things that I say now as a 35-year-old adult, 35-year-old person, it's like, oh, okay, I can point to that movie. So yeah.
I like that you revised that. 35-year-old person.
I'm not an adult.
I refuse.
Yeah. I will never grow up.
I do think that, like, I don't think I've watched a single Jack Black movie that I don't enjoy, or that I don't enjoy him in. Like, I feel like every scene he was in the movie, I enjoyed of this movie, of Saving Silverman. But I think it was just the over-the-top ridiculousness, that those were the parts that were just like, all right, how many times have we seen this at this point?
But no, I do think that's a great point, that if you said who wins this movie, Jason Biggs had American Pie, and that was already out at this time, and Steve Zahn hasn't been in a ton. He has Strange Wilderness, he's in Daddy Daycare, but he's not in a bunch. And then Jack Black, I think, is the one that comes out of this movie, and Tenacious D obviously helps, but having all of that momentum forward, it's definitely a big push for him, and just him dominating the movie, you can definitely see that. So yeah, I think it's a great point.
We have to talk about the Bollywood version.
Oh yes. So this, Saving Silverman was also adapted into some Hindi remakes. The names of which, or I guess the more recent, bigger name, it's the Hindi translation of the words hi-fi, which I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation, but it's Detali, like Deetaali, and it was remade in 2008. And I think it's one of those things that they pretty much scene for scene tried to recreate the exact scene, plots, characters of Saving Silverman. But of course, it's almost like in a Bollywood style. So I watched one of the first scenes where the three main characters are singing that, Neil Diamond set on what looks like a pier or something like that. And the Hindi version is like a 50-person, almost like Hello Dolly type scene. That it's, way over the top and kind of ridiculous. So I would love to watch that, just for kicks.
Put it on the list.
We're doing it.
That could be a new category, is you watch the cultural remake.
That would be great. Some other ones I had. So this part, there was no additional context given. And I don't recall a part where Steve Zahn was painted blue. That didn't happen, did it?
Blue?
Yeah, because this little factoid is, in the theatrical trailer, a pair of blue briefs was digitally painted onto Steve Zahn in one scene because the Motion Picture Association of America said that the scene was too revealing for general audiences. So I would assume that means, at some point in the movie, he had to be blue and, almost naked, and so they had to digitally add...
I remember he painted himself when he broke into the house.
Yeah, but he wasn't blue.
And he also was wearing, a turtleneck or something.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that, or, if you could find maybe the review, or the preview it's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was one that I saved, and I was just I don't understand. The international title of Saving Silverman was just called Evil Woman.
Fitting.
Creative.
I loved that the budget was about $22 million and worldwide it only made $26 million. So that's a yikes on that.
Yeah.
Additionally, Neil Diamond said humorously, quote, that I was dragged into this project kicking and screaming, end quote. And that he wrote whatever the custom song is at the end for the whole, breaking up the wedding. He wrote that specifically for the film. Also, I kind of fell into a rabbit hole with this one, but it has an audience score on Rotten Tomatoes of 51%, which is probably one of the lower ones that I've heard of. And, we all have our, I think that Rotten Tomatoes is, I could love a movie and it could bomb, on Rotten Tomatoes. The, critic reviewed score on Rotten Tomatoes was 19%. And I was like, damn, did people just come, thinking in my head, how old is Rotten Tomatoes? Thinking maybe it's 2010 that it came out. Rotten Tomatoes came out in 1998. So, literally the day that this came out, people were like, nah, no thanks. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes came out August 12th, 1998. I saved that as well.
Harsh critics out there in the Rotten Tomatoes world.
So harsh.
Yes. Okay, well, interesting factoids those were. I liked the ON AYEAHHHAAA.
Is that, what words are you saying when you're saying that?
ON AYEAHHHAAA.
So that sound,
It ain't over. Aloha.
whatever you want to call that sound, apparently Steve Zahn and Jack Black were repeating it, and Neil Diamond was like, well, what is that? Why are you saying that? And they were like, oh, we heard you say it in the middle of one of your concerts. And Neil Diamond was like, no, that I definitely did not say that. And so they pulled up a recording of one of his live concerts and played for Neil Diamond saying or singing whatever the hell that sound is for him to believe it.
I'm friggin' Neil Diamond.
I'm just trying to find the painted blue scene in the trailer. I'm not finding anything.
Maybe is he in a pool or something? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of any other time that he was nearly nude.
Just when
No,
I
just
was
when
with
he's
the
painted
strippers.
camo.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
But he wasn't blue with the strippers.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, in the theatrical version, that subway whole scene, I don't remember seeing that in that version at all.
Love Subway.
Where they have where he has the three apprentices that
Well, I
are
worked
just
at
jacking
Mad
up
Subway.
everything.
That's pretty impressive that you can remember what it was like when it fucking came out in theaters.
Yeah, I mean because when I was looking, I was like, I don't remember this at all, and I've seen this movie so many times, and it's probably because we have different. Plus, I have I own the theatrical one too, so
Yeah.
that's the
I
only
remember
one
the
I watched.
words are different because there were times where it was when Jack Black's look at that succulent peach, and it's in this version look at that hot piece of ass.
Yeah,
And it's wait a minute, that's not what he says.
there was another one where he swore, and I'm like, oh, that's not the normal words there.
I wonder what the
Uh,
quantity or quality is of swearing that makes a PG-13 movie a PG-13 movie.
I think you're allowed a certain amount.
But is it you can only say fuck once if that's your only swear word? Or what if you say shit 20 times and that equals one fuck?
I know.
You can say as many jackasses as you want.
20 shits equals one fuck.
Yeah, how many
Or 10.
penises?
I would think no
there's 0
penises.
in PG-13.
I don't know.
I would think even
How many boobs?
nipple. I would think you could do boob but not nipple.
Yeah, more than one.
More than one what?
Expletive requires an R rating.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can only say fuck one time or anything one time.
Yeah.
Come on.
Motion pictures, single use of the word. Harsher sexually derived words, though only as an expletive, requires at least a PG-13, and then if there's more than one, rated R.
Oh, what's a non-sexually derived swear word?
Shit.
People are into shit play, dude.
I mean, it's a big responsibility being the PG-13 writer who gets to choose the one time they use the swear word.
Okay. You can swear once.
Very fuck kill.
Sure.
I feel like there's really only two options, isn't there?
I'd
Yeah.
kill Mother Superior. That she's intimidating. She's lifting way too much.
Mother Superior. I just watched this
nun?
movie.
The Mama Nun. Okay. I thought you meant like the young girl.
I was
No.
like,
I
I
was like,
just
what?
watched this and I don't know who that is.
The lead prostitute.
The lead
Oh
part-
yeah,
the shorter prostitute, yes.
the one with the nicer boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would.
I'd marry her.
I'd probably put her on the fuck list, and then I'd marry Sandy because she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I'd marry the one he ends up with.
Yeah.
And then
Judith. Judith.
You'd marry Judith?
All three.
I love Judith.
Well, yeah.
Her eyes.
I would definitely kill Jason Biggs, and I mean actual Jason Biggs, not the fucking character. Sorry, Jason Biggs. Stop waxing your eyebrows.
If you're listening to this.
Well,
I would definitely fuck and marry that old man because I love him. Whatever his name is.
I'd go Judith for all three, for sure. That's just how our relationship would go.
Should we go through and do?
Just gonna
Naturally.
let her own you?
She's not gonna own me.
She would own you.
I'm the strong, assertive type that she needs, and she's the hardcore bitch that I've always dreamed of.
Who do you identify with?
What's the one guy you don't like?
Jason Biggs.
Biggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm
identify
him.
with him because I wax my eyebrows.
You don't wax this part of your eyebrows.
No, I pluck.
The top fucking outside corners. No one. That's like being like, I wax the exact opposite of a Brazilian vag wax. Like, I wax just the strip down the middle and I leave the
Could be starting a trend
Technically,
there.
that's a true landing strip.
That's called a clear cut of the forest, and
I still identify with him the most.
Joe John is hairy.
Have you been trapped into potentially hazardous relationships that your friends have tried to, get you out of by kidnapping your girlfriend?
Pretty close.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Literally.
What?
No. But if it was gonna happen to anybody that I know, it'd probably be me.
Yikes.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I identify with Wayne. Again. Because he is the strong, assertive male, and she is the hardcore bitch he's always dreamed of.
That's
That's
not Jack
Steve
Black's
Zahn.
character, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve Zahn.
I just wanted to make sure.
Wayne.
I wasn't sure either.
I also have
The blonde
a
guy.
Yeah.
burgeoning pest control business on the side. I've been attacked by multiple raccoons. I know the Navy SEAL signals. And I love Neil Diamond.
That was a fucking list.
Cowboy Wayne.
I identify with Coach because
Yes.
I get super pissed when I'm losing at anything, and I could certainly spear a ref on occasion.
Yeah.
So pretty much just everything that was depicted was what goes through my head when I'm watching a football game.
I definitely feel like I'm a mix between Coach and the feral raccoon mother. Kidding.
I'd say that's very accurate. More so than any other relationship that we've done over these past two podcasts.
Feral raccoon mama, that's
Feral
me.
Raccoon and Coach. And a little bit of the captain from Seven
Yes.
mixed in there.
It's a blend, a nice blend.
This isn't even my fucking desk.
Why is it in my desk? Love it.
If this movie was made today, who would be in place of Neil Diamond?
So, for Joe John, who would it be today if it wasn't Neil Diamond? So this person was...
BTS.
So this person was
that?
20 years before this movie came out, probably, and was like a big deal back then. And it was like what they grew up with, and big American singer-songwriter.
I would definitely still say Backstreet Boys then. 20 years ago
Okay.
I'd say
was
something in that vein.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who would have been like a single artist? Enrique Iglesias.
Ricky Martin.
Yes. I could see that. Ricky Martin.
That'd be funny.
We could do a Ricky.
Obsessed with
movie.
Ricky Martin.
Ricky, I want to party with you.
Ricky.
Ricky.
Keep
Like
on.
Creed.
Creed.
That'd
Oh,
be a good
fucking
one. That'd be
Nickelback.
fucking, yeah, Nickelback.
Creed and Nickelback, yeah. That'd be
Actually, we could just make a movie about you two.
Yeah.
You too.
No, I mean
You.
you and you.
Oh, I thought we were talking about you two. I'm like, I don't like you two.
That should be a segment. Which scene would you beat off to?
Obviously the stripper scene.
Really?
The most front, most nudity.
The RB scene.
The Arby's scene. That's it for you. You need a big meat sandwich in there with it.
Yeah.
Cock meat sandwich.
For me, it'd be the coach impaling that guy. If you know any good mental health services, email them to
We get
mail@dreamborgate.com.
sponsored by BetterHelp.
Subject. Rose's assistants. Thank you.
Save us.
What else we got?
What's your beef?
What's my beef?
We didn't do favorite moment, did we?
No. What is your beef? Your beef. You have the most beef, so why don't you open up the...
Are you referring to roast beef curtains?
I wasn't, but...
Fuck you.
I wasn't, but I was...
Objectively the most beef, so
I was
here
like,
for
you have the most beef. So I was going to be like, let's open the floor to you. And I was like, let's open the delicatessen to you.
Oh my god.
So, Rose, you have the most wrong with this movie. Why don't you start?
Jason Biggs' eyebrows.
Okay.
And then the whole over-the-top comedy. Or like zaniness, I guess.
So because I enjoy it.
That's what I think.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when I say
He agrees. Dylan agrees. I think that it's like, there are genuinely funny parts.
Yes.
Many of them. But then like maybe the second time the raccoon fucking jumps on the guy's face, maybe we can, nix that. That's maybe a little much.
Okay.
It's like just that kind of stuff. I think it's very overdone. Or maybe at the time that it came out, it wasn't yet overdone. But at this point in my life,
You see
it's
that?
overdone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my beef.
That's your beef.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what I mean when I say it sounds like, or it plays like most other comedy movies of the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Same type of humor. Like, not a lot of difference.
Sure. Okay.
I don't really have beef. It was just like, again, it's a phone watch.
Sounds like you got beef.
If
Paul.
you call that beef.
I mean, like
Oh,
I said, I
beef.
love the movie. My only beef is Darren is frustrating at times. He just makes some bad mistakes. He's staying with Judith. What's he thinking there?
Yep.
So he frustrates me. But the over the topness, I mean that's just that time. Like that, most of the comedies were like that at the time, and
Yeah.
just soaked it in.
Sure. I would say if I have beef, it would be the failings of the judicial system in that, first of all, Coach was in jail and then he backs the truck into the jail to let out the boys. And then, so the boys are wanted criminals, freed by a criminal who then takes two Uzis and jumps out of the truck to shoot at a cop car, and then just shows up at the wedding, and then nothing happens about that. So it's like, did the charges get dropped because Judith ends up marrying Wayne? Am I looking too far into this?
Maybe.
I'm probably looking too far into it. But that would be my only beef, is just, I think they would be serving some time based on that.
I think that Neil Diamond got them out of everything.
Maybe Neil
I
Diamond
think that Celebrity Connect
and then he had a restraining order against him, but they were just like, nah.
that dissolved.
Yeah. That's my beef.
Favorite moment, and if you could take one prop.
Favorite moment. Favorite moment for me, I would say for me, it's when they are pushing the car over the gorge and he gets stuck. Jack gets stuck. It's just the noise that he makes when he wiggles out of it is hilarious to me. So that's my favorite moment.
I like when she makes was it Jason Biggs
Yeah.
go down on him
Oh,
go down on her.
Yeah.
Just because it's really sexy when she's talking about sex.
is that the same girl
How
that?
profound of you.
That's not the same chick that plays the devil in that one movie that we watched.
No.
That's
Who is that one?
Liz Hurley.
Because she's British, right?
Yes.
They look similar, don't they?
Kind
I'd
of.
give them a similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get just
Who would
reminded me
you
I was talking
rather?
to a British girl
Liz
at the bar
Hurley or
yesterday.
Amanda Peet?
Liz Hurley.
I didn't hear what you said.
Liz Hurley or Amanda Peet?
What question are you asking me?
Who would you rather?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you say, JoJo?
You guys reminded me that I was talking to a British girl at the bar yesterday.
Did you ask her to say aluminum?
I should have. Damn. Aluminium?
Aluminium. Yeah.
Rose, your favorite scene?
Definitely. It's just the 10-second clip at the end where Jack Black and Coach get married. That's my favorite.
Paul?
There's a lot of good ones. I like when the Chinese man falls down the stairs. I absolutely love that one.
That is a great one.
And then kind of when he gets beat up in the beginning by that chick, and JD's trying to defend him.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a big pussy.
As children.
So those are kind of my two favorites there.
I would also say another favorite is, and I thought somebody would have took this, but oh, Sherry, you've got the way to be moving me. When the guy replaces Darren in the band.
Oh, yeah.
Know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this sucks. This blows.
This was She torched Neil.
You're right, the woman's a monster.
2, 3, 4. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. Those are the scenes that make a fantastic movie even more enjoyable.
Or the magic scene when he's first trying to pick him up in the bar. It's an underrated scene.
I think it's underrated because it's fucking Kyle Gass.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
You, me, two ordinary men.
Were there a lot of props in this movie?
There was the
prop can be anything that you want. So, with this category, what would you take from this movie? Joe John?
Judith.
I don't know if you could take a person.
I just love the eyes.
Yeah, her eyes are so blue.
I know.
I like the set list. That looks like it may have been a Xerox copy.
Oh, yeah.
I would put that on my wall.
Yeah, I'll see if I
every
can
day.
think of something else. But Judith.
Okay,
Signed by
Judith. The set list
Mm-hmm.
for Paul.
Signed by
Rose.
Neil.
I thought of this while we were watching it, and I had something after this that I cannot recall. But definitely the printouts or the camera of when they took all the pictures with the prostitutes and then pasted Jason Biggs' head on their bodies. Either that camera with the pictures on it or the printouts with the, transposed heads.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would take the lounge chair.
Ethel?
Yeah.
The recliner?
Old Ethel. Yeah.
Is that the one with the lug nut?
Lug nut. Fix it. Yeah.
Been through a lot of games together.
Give the old sweeperino.
I take the house that he offered up.
Yeah.
Dad,
on the
It
back.
was a nice
yard.
house.
Yeah.
For her to just be like,
In this economy?
no. Yeah.
anyhow.
In this economy, I mean, that's a Seattle, assuming that's where it was taking place.
Somewhere in Washington.
That's a Seattle house. Looked like a safe neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, that's worth its weight in gold.
Funeral in the backyard.
Okay, so if you had to rate Saving Silverman on a scale of 1 to 10, Philip Boughton, yes.
Yes.
What would you rate it as?
Okay, so I think I gave 7 last week's movie. Would I give it an 8? I did.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So this, not quite as good as 7. I'm going to go with a 6.5 for Saving Silverman, which is still good. I think that we talked about it in the podcast here that it is a classic cult movie of Jack Black. It made Jack Black popular, right? Like, name something else that made him more popular when we were in
sooner
school.
than that.
Not that he had a big role in the movie, but I do believe young Jack Black in Cable Guy.
True. But he didn't really get to...
Wasn't a big role, and he was actually
Right.
kind of a douche.
He didn't
Not so
get
much
to...
the comedy character.
Exactly. He didn't get to flex his muscle.
Yeah.
It was Jim Carrey's show,
Yeah.
and that was very apparent.
But that might have been my first, like, introduction to
Right.
Jack Black.
That's Jack Black. I know of one even before that. Do you know it? Think hard. Kyle is in it as well.
They're both in it.
Pauly Shore is in it. It's a
Son-in-Law?
No. It's a favorite of mine.
Biodome?
Yes.
What is he in Biodome?
They're in Biodome. They're playing at the where they're all at the massage like rally, and they're all just like rubbing each other's shoulders, and it's Jack Black and Kyle Gass, and they're just like, we all gotta save some trees.
I do not remember that scene.
It's
Oh my
super quick, but it's him. And yeah, classic. Love it. Joe John, 1 to 10. What are you giving Saving Silverman?
You just gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6.5.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm gonna.
Oh, ouch.
I mean, pretty much for the exact same reasons you said. I gave 7 a 7. So
And you gave it a 7, yeah.
So
7 to 7.
I know they're different types of movies,
They're
but
different types, yeah.
I certainly enjoyed watching 7 a little bit more than this movie. But that's due to the nature of the movies. Like, again, I think I said this when we were first talking about this movie. There's not like rom-coms like that. There's a lot of crossover where I think I said if you've seen one, you've basically seen all of them, which they are their own movies, but it's not like overtly unique in any way that I would give it anything higher than a 6. Like, it's a good movie, it's fun to watch, but there's nothing where I can say this is better than all these other movies in the same genre for this reason.
So even though you went to the same university as J.D. McNugent,
Subway University.
Subway University.
I was like, he went to Brockport?
Subway University.
I guess I don't respect my alum.
I guess. Yeah.
Represent.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate your feedback. There are no wrong answers here. And I still think you're a handsome guy. Rose, what do you got? 1 to 10.
I think I agree with a lot of what Dylan said about there
Joe
not
John.
being Joe John.
It's Joe John who said it wrong.
Joe John Dylon.
Can't let people know.
That, like, I think I agree to a certain extent, like, that once you see one rom-com, you've seen them all. There are, like, some
Now, I don't want you
outliers
shitting on this
to
just
me.
because I love rom-coms.
But can I?
It's not personal.
See, I
It
have
is
some,
personal.
like, I like whatever the fucking one that was Brittany Murphy and Ashton Kutcher that was, like, they just got, it's, like,
Just Married?
newlyweds. Yes,
Just
that one. Like, I like that one. There are a few that I do like. I don't really see this as a rom-com, though. I don't. Like, I just see it as, like, a buddy comedy or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of blanket.
Slapstick comedy.
There
It
you
was like
go.
an Indian Bollywood.
I was not slapping my stick while we watched it, so I would not call it a slapstick.
Well, I was slapping my stick pretty aggressively.
He was also slapping Philip Owens,
Mm-hmm.
the captain.
Slapdash.
I'm gonna give it a 5 because I feel like 5 is like meh to me. 10 is obviously perfect, and I feel like anything less than 5 means that it actually pisses me off. And I feel like the only thing that pissed me off were Jason Biggs' eyebrows. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give it
Still stuck on
a
them
solid
brows.
5.
Forgot about that.
Still stuck on them brows.
Yes.
A rock hard 5. Okay. All right.
Mikey?
Well, Paul.
Last but not
Paul
least.
County Road 41.
Yeah.
So, love the movie, but do have to, take into consideration, the broad scheme of movies and, like, where this falls, right? It's a slapstick comedy. I don't know that there is one that I would give a 10 that is a slapstick comedy. It'd be tough, because, I like something with a little more substance when I'm giving it that high of a number. still, I mean, I'm gonna go above and beyond all of you. I'm gonna give it a 7.2. Okay, which for that type of genre of movie, it is pretty much a 10 for that genre.
Can I just say that I didn't know that we could break it down to the 10?
You can.
Well, I mean,
Fucking-
you should have read the rule book.
You could do
before you-
6.9.
Well, then, hold on, let me.
6.9.
So it's going to be a 6.3257.
You could do a 3.14.
3.1.
You could give it a pie. You could do whatever you want.
I'll give you a pie.
I'll give you a pie.
Ooh, mommy.
It's gonna give you
Ooh, ma'am.
Jason Biggs
gonna be
eyebrow
a sound
pie.
clip.
Yes.
Ooh, ma'am.
Ooh, mommy.
Ooh, ma'am.
There's your sound effect.
There's one, and then Captain, permission to come inside.
Oh no. Oh
Shout out Crumbs for that one.
Permission granted.
Permission to come aboard.
Permission granted. Finish strong.
no. So you said 7.2, is that what you said?
7.2 was the score I'm gonna go with. I think it's a strong score. I think it's an accurate score. I think some of you kind of maybe gave a little lower. Rosemary. But that's what I'm going with.
Proud of you.
I love it.
Rest on your laurels. I appreciate it.
So, consensus, there's a 5, there's a 6.5, there's a 6.9 point,
No, it's still.
something,
I'm gonna call it a
something,
6.000.
a 6.00, and then a 7.2. So, if we're rounding, I'd say it's hitting the mark, probably like a 6.6. So, pretty solid flick for the second one. Now, this is closing up nicely here for our third movie that's coming out next week. This hits near and dear to my heart. The Dark Knight. Our review will be coming out. Talk movie to me. It is Heath Ledger as the Joker. I love it. Rose.
Rachel!
Where's Rachel? Nobody can be named Rachel around me ever because of that movie. Like, Rachel! Ah! When his face is melting. Can't do it.
Well,
Can't be
you
named
just
Rachel.
spoiled that for me.
You don't know anything about it.
I don't.
Also,
Joe
anything-
John?
By the
So,
time-
Anything
also,
minorly inconveniences me, especially like when it's Tyler, like
You eat a
he
garbage
forgets. Yes, a fucking like barbecue sauce from McDonald's. I'd be like, "You did this. You brought this darkness upon us."
so for the record, and if you haven't noticed by now, Joe John has seen no movies, has seen no TV series. So this young man,
Not none.
he's seen not a lot of them.
I've watched a lot of sports in my life.
You have not seen The Dark Knight.
You are the little boy from Room.
I have a
okay?
hard time.
That's
From
a
what?
That's a girl.
What?
So let me just
The
advocate.
movie Room?
What's Room?
Oh, jeez, no one's seen that movie.
Haha, now you're the weird
Never
guy.
even heard of
Fucking
it.
loser.
Room, where they like keep the little kid like in a room.
That's us right now. That is
Yes.
the tree for it.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to add that.
Let me
one
just
to the list.
advocate. Well, I forgot what I was going to say to defend myself, so we can just keep bashing on
Okay.
me.
You watched a lot of sports.
Well, yes, but no, I was going to say something and it's gone. It's a fleeting memory.
Okay. To be fair,
Take it
you were
easy on
like
me.
12 when that movie came out. So maybe.
Yeah, I'm a little bit younger than the rest of the tree fort.
Yep. But you bring that pizzazz to the group.
Oh,
So-
I know what I was going to say. I just
What
have
were
a
you gonna
really
say?
hard time starting things. That's why, if you're, I don't know, again, depending on the
Yes.
upload schedule, you might be listening to Thrones Cast on
The
Fridays.
guy has commitment issues.
It's hard to start something. So,
You're telling me.
You should really try quitting your fucking job. It's like I've watched so many movies now.
I've consistently had a job ever since I stopped working, or ever since I graduated. So, like, I haven't had that. Because when I had the 2 weeks after college before I started what I do now, I watched Sons of Anarchy in totality. I watched, like, I did watch a bunch of movies and stuff. But, yeah.
What
Quit my
movies
job.
did you watch? Could you name a couple for us?
What's your favorite?
I think
Aladdin.
from that 2 week period, the
Oh.
only movie I can remember watching was
Not in that 2 week period, just like in your entire life.
just name any movie.
What's your favorite
What is your
movie of all
favorite
time?
movie?
I don't know if I have a favorite movie of all.
How about like if you could name 5 that are potential favorites?
I Am Legend.
Ooh.
Okay.
I do enjoy that. That's on the list.
It's the only movie he's ever seen.
I'm gonna say, I know it's one of those things where it's hard to come up with stuff on the spot, but I'm having a hard time thinking of movies I've enjoyed.
And that's it.
All right, so that's your number one because it's the only one.
Oh fuck.
Well, yeah, I didn't want the only other movies that are coming ahead were all the Will
Seven.
Smith movies.
Saving Silverman.
Silverman. As of next week, The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight. Just Dark Knight.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, name. I don't know.
Fucking Interstellar.
Never seen it.
Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
I think I saw it as a
Inception.
kid.
You said that.
Oh, I like
You
Inception.
said that you say that as a lie.
I know.
So
But I didn't say that on the
So you
podcast.
lied.
I know, but I'm not lying now.
I was probably lying about 7. Well, if I can't remember, and I might have saw it on
Wolf
TV.
of Wall Street.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I don't know if
Wolf
it's a
of Wall
top
Street's a
movie of
good
all
one.
time for me, but it's a good movie. I feel like that movie's overrated by because of people like myself, like white, like mid-20 guys who went into sales.
Oh, fucking Goodfellas. I forgot about Goodfellas.
Good movie.
Is that on-
One of my
have,
favorites.
I have seen Goodfellas,
Is that on
it is, yeah.
Okay.
but I feel like my demographic has ruined Wolf of Wall Street to
Fuck
a
you,
degree.
pay me.
Do you not remember, and this is going to be more of a personal anecdote, it was right around when you started with us, when we had that big hiring class of people, and every fucking white kid out of St. John Fisher they made us do the dream boards, and they all had little snippets from the Wolf of Wall Street, and I was like, guys, this is not how real sales is.
Wow.
We're not going to be doing cocaine and fucking whores here.
Speak for yourself.
Come work with me.
I will say. No, I won't say.
So, Dark Knight coming up next week. Heath Ledger, Christian Bale. Classic. Love it. Thank you for stopping by Into the Fort this week. We are signing off here. Let it be known. We appreciate all of the likes. Please continue to listen, like, follow, comment. Shoot us an email. Let us know if there's a movie that you want to see. Let us know anything that you just want to say. Comment on the Facebook. Find us on Instagram. Do whatever you want to do. Tree Fort Gang. We love you. And we appreciate you stopping by.
Peace.
Tree Fort Gang is an Audio Boom original podcast. Edison is written by Eric Sprinkle and is produced and performed by Soul Shifters.